La Liga Lounge, it's for the boys. Dan and Houston on again. La Liga Lounge, round up the boys. Tell your wife and tell your friends. We play for keeps and every week we tell it like it is. La Liga Lounge, when all is said and done, we can all agree. FTC.
Welcome in, gentlemen. Another episode of the La Liga Lounge coming at you live right now. Me and Houston on the mic, per always. Special guest who we're going to intro in a second. Jeff here with us as well. But first, Houston, we got some housekeeping duties to take care of here, bud.
We usually address this later, but, this is kind of ongoing, so we're addressing this now. A few weeks ago, rules implemented. Support of the commissioner behind this rule. You have the lowest scoring points of the week. You have to chug one beer. Everyone respected the rule. Timmy and others, myself included, went back and retroactively applied said beer. Anthony comes 3 weeks ago. Lowest scoring points, owes a beer. He's in Iceland somewhere. Was texting on the group me, so we got the message in.
Yep.
Next week, we implemented a new rule. You take on the following person if you haven't. Ruben was lowest scoring week. Anthony takes on his beer. He has till next Thursday. He didn't. Murphy, lowest scoring week. Murphy, an honorable man, chugged a beer and had a great video to the group.
Great video. Great video from Murphy.
I mean, you would have thought Josh was editing it. Kudos, Murph. You know what? We talked about it. We had a conference call with the commissioner. Anthony owes 3 beers now.
3 beers, boys. 3 beers from Anthony. That'll go up to 4 if we don't get it by, well, recording this on Wednesday night. We need it by Thursday, I think.
I think the rule is Sunday, just based
Okay.
on when this is posted. But I think Sunday's fair.
Yeah,
Fair
Sunday's fair. So, Anthony, get on top of your shit, dude.
Dude.
One thing, Houston, you can tell the guy's not watching the podcast, not paying close attention to the group. The engagement from that man is on the decline this year, and we'll see if the commissioner does anything about it. But I don't like what I'm seeing from Anthony as far as league engagement goes.
I'll watch YouTube videos on how to saute shit while I'm driving. You can't put one of these things on the tractor and just kind of, what are you paying attention to, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you ain't farming that hard if you're going to Iceland and Germany and shit. I call bullshit on that. So anyways, Anthony, get your shit together. You're probably not even going to fucking see this because you're not going to watch the video. But get your shit together, buddy.
real sad.
All right. Jeffrey. Good to have you on the show.
Jeff.
You made me look smart last week because you got a big lock of the week W for me. Big win for yourself too, man. How's your season going so far? Give us a little breakdown. How's La Liga treating you right now?
Hey, look, you guys have been showing me a lot of love this year. As you have always pointed out week after week, Dan, thank you again. Fucking highest in points against. I don't know what it is with you guys, but you guys just like to pile it on. I'm sitting at 3-5, which is, respectably bad, but I'm trending up. I think I'm trending up. I got some players on bye, to my dismay, but thankfully I'm not the only guy with some bye weeks now and coming up, some bye week issues. So I got a hot call from our hot Carl producer today, right in the afternoon, and after some talking last night.
Let me paint a picture here.
Yeah, Carl.
Let me paint a little picture.
Oh boy.
Jen, this wasn't in the script. I'm liking it.
I'm on a little bit of like I've never traded, I've never hit the waiver, and now it's like I went to my first blackjack table and like I'm losing my house. I'm just addicted to like trading.
They brought a third into the bedroom.
It's crazy. So I'm looking at Jeff's week 9. And he's got Sam Laporta and what's his first? Evan Ingram, 2 tight ends, both on a bye this upcoming week. I got Goddard, who's not on a bye. So I'm like, Jeff needs a tight end. Want your reaction here, boys. So I send Jeff a trade for Sam Laporta, who's on a bye. He can hit the waiver. He's got a pretty deep bench. It would be probably a disservice to his team to drop anybody. So I sent him a trade. I will take your bye tight end for my active tight end. For Sam Laporta, for Goddard, straight up.
1 for 1.
Houston,
One for one.
You got something to say there? Or?
Oh Jesus.
Keep in mind, Jeff.
Houston, you,
Keep in
got
mind,
something to say there?
Jeff is 3-5. He cannot afford to lose another week. He's also got 2 defenses on a bye, which we'll get to in a sec. But straight up, Goddard, he can play him this week against Max, who's on the rise. Actually, be projected above Max for the week. What is your reaction to this trade?
I'll give you a reaction. Jeff, don't give your reaction. I'll give the reaction here. Hey, Josh, you're trying to scam him. You're fucking like Biden. You're the IRS. You're trying to just take, and not give. Jeff, I threw you an offer in the pre-show meeting here. I gave you.
We're not talking your offers. We're not talking your offers right now. I want your reaction to this. Jeff will have to either drop Devontae Smith, Akers, Godwin, Goff, maybe one of his defenses, Kyren Williams on IR. He would have to drop a significant player, which would get snatched up in the waiver wire by whoever has the most fab, just to pick up a third tight end. So without having to waste any fab, he'd have the 7th and 8th tight end for the remainder of the season to give up the number 3 tight end, Samuel Laporta.
Gosh.
What would you do? Would you do it?
Fuck no. I wouldn't do it. I would never give up Sam Laporta.
Nope.
I would never do it. I would
Nope.
drop Jeff. If I'm you, man, I'm gonna go in there. I'm just gonna drop Evan Ingram because you're never gonna play him anyway. You might as well just feed him to the wolves and go get yourself another guy for this week because there's no point.
Which is what he
did.
did. Which is
Yeah.
what he did. Which is
Yeah.
what he said. So I, of course, had a plan B. If you skip to Jeff's week 11, he has Bijan Robinson and Jonathan Taylor both on a bye. The only other running back he has is Cam Akers. So when both of those guys are on a bye, he will have Cam Akers and no other running back. Now, Jeff was smart. He looked at my upcoming weeks, and he sees that in week 10, so not this upcoming, but the next weekend, I have Mostert and Pacheco both on a bye. Don't want your reactions. We finally brought this segment in. We are going to go through a live trade. Jeff knows the proposal, and he is going to make a decision. So,
Oh
Jeff,
wow, you're not even gonna give him the proposal right now, are you?
I'm going to give him the proposal right now.
Okay, right now. Okay.
The proposal is Josh, myself, will give up Isaiah Pacheco and Dallas Goedert. And Jeff will give up Sam Laporta and Bijan Robinson. That's the trade.
Oh my gosh, Jeff, don't do it. You're giving up the 2 better players.
Am I though?
I'd rather have Bijan than I
look at those
Isaiah
stats real
Pacheco.
quick. I mean,
Well, let me get the number 3 tight end for number 8th. He would be giving up the number 3 for the 8th. He'd be giving up the number 13 running back for receiving the number 8 running back.
Right.
Keep in mind, both of us are basically fucked the week that we have both those guys on bye. So right now,
this helps me out in 2.
Kind of a wash to like what compensate for the bye week. Like,
yeah.
Jeff, you're 3-5. Okay, I don't think you worry about 3 weeks from now. I just gave you 2 starting running backs and a tight end.
Yeah,
We're not
actually,
bringing-
Houston,
we're-
why don't you bring yourself into the mix here?
No.
All
This is a live trade.
Your offer sucks.
You've
You're
reacted.
strong-arming people.
No, hey,
with all
look,
the
Josh
power.
and Houston, why don't you just counter offer him right now with what you got on the
I know.
table?
Here's
This
what
is-
I
this is-
offered him, Josh. Since you opened this trade,
All
I
right.
offered him Chuba, Brian Robinson
Terrible.
Jr., and
Terrible.
Jake Ferguson for Evan Ingram and Taylor.
Chuba, who has like 50% of the snaps on a garbage team. Houston's been saying every podcast, don't pick a running back on a shitty team. And Brian Robinson Jr., who they just got rid of their whole D line, so be playing on a negative game script the whole time. Fun. Go for it,
It's
Jeff.
called No Line, number 1. No
All right,
full-
Dan, since you're the only person without any Dan, since you're the only one without any cards in this race, how do you feel about those 2 trades?
I would So number one, let me just say, Josh, I'm very proud of you for the man you've become this fantasy football season. It's the most convoluted trade talk shit I've ever heard in my life, and I fucking love it, dude.
Fucking
It's
annoying,
awesome.
but it's good.
It's it's amazing stuff. It's really
The funny
amazing.
thing is that last night before you go, he was like, "Why would I ever do that?" And I said, "Well, you won't literally have a tight end this week." And we talked about the running backs, and he just goes, "You've put a lot of thought into this."
Dude, it is amazing to see the type of shit you're pulling off right now, Josh. I still think, I mean, you unbiased opinion here, Jeff. Honestly, what I would do is reject both those fucking offers. I would, man. I wouldn't do either one. Maybe Josh's, if you like Pacheco that much and you're down on Bijan, I guess, but I do not like the idea of giving up Laporta. And Houston, I can't really remember Houston's offer too well.
I wasn't asking to. I give him Chuba, who has taken over from Miles Sanders. He got 15 carries last week and 2 catches, 6 targets.
Okay.
And then
Miles will be off his groin injury.
Brian Robinson Jr., shut the fuck up, who is number 11 at the running back position right now. They've had a couple slids, but he's still getting his touches and snap counts. And Jake Ferguson, who's the 15 tight end, for Ingram and Jonathan Taylor. And that's open to negotiation too, Jeff.
Yeah.
Keep in mind,
starting running backs. I realize that JT's number 1, but he's still coming back from injury. Their team still sucks. Don't act like the fucking Panthers and Washington are so much better than the Colts.
they're way worse than the Colts.
Okay.
So what are you gonna do, Jeff? You're on the hot seat. You got
My last rebuttal here is
Okay.
you're getting advice that is swaying you from 2 people who have openly admitted they have no chance in this league whatsoever. Now one of them has the same record as you and has no aspirations to get better. Miles Sanders will be back off his groin injury soon, and Chuba will probably lose the snaps. But also, you have Sam Howell as a quarterback, so
You want to take Miles?
I don't want a quarterback and a running
You
back.
can take Miles, Chuba, and Brian Robinson, and Jake Ferguson for the same 2 guys. Take them both. So if one of them actually gets the touches, switch him back out. Fuck you,
Wow.
Josh. Fuck you.
So the trade
I
is
didn't know. We
the
gotta
trade
change
is
topics.
active, right? No, he's gonna either accept or deny it right now.
I think we put him on the clock.
Hold on here, because I'm pretty
We got
sure
high first if we were gonna make him do this.
It's a
Oh,
live trade.
trades.
That's what we said. We're gonna do a live trade. So you either accept or deny, and I got to go to my backup person who's wants to take advantage of this. If you
Damn,
deny,
we're
but
so-
I have to know tonight. I have to know. We said you have to make a
Gosh.
decision right now.
Look at this professional tradesman over here. He's saying, I got another offer over here, so I don't even need you. It's just like fucking pro move, Josh, man. Oh, man,
That's what we
dude.
established in our conversation
Holy
earlier
shit.
today.
Well,
All right, Jeff,
not gonna
what's your
lie, boys.
analysis?
yeah, no. Look, there's been plenty of talk here. I love that we've essentially opened the trade lines, and Josh, I'm not gonna lie, man, you played this into my hand because ultimately you just tried to move White tight end, and now I've got multiple suitors for trades here. So I'm gonna have to reject yours. I appreciate it, and you know what? I might send you something late if I hit the bong a little late and before bed. So I'm gonna have to say no to that one. Houston, I'm intrigued. I'll send you a counter offer again after I hit the late night bong ski, and we'll see where we go from there.
I'll be up too.
First live trade rejected.
Wow. Very non-committal, Jeff. Very non-committal stuff. I was really hoping to get a hard yes, hard no right there, but I understand you
I
gotta weigh
think
your options.
I'm the least committal person in this league, probably. So
All right. Well, I didn't know that was going to be as long as it was. Let's move it along. I want
It's
to move it along here. Lock of the weeks. Lock of the week recap. Dan snuck one out picking Jeff last week. I picked Kevin over Murph. Got that one. I'm up to 2-5. Dan 6-1. Our guests are 2-2. Jeff, I'll let you kick it off with your lock of the week if you're ready.
well, I mean, who else is gonna? Am I allowed to lock myself in? Was that ever
Oh
established?
yeah.
Or?
Yeah, you can do that.
I did that first, and then it worked, and then I did it again, and then it didn't. So,
And then I did
yeah,
it against
you
Houston and it won pretty good too. So
Well, first time's a charm, right? So fuck it, I'm locking myself in, boys. Whether these trades go through or not, I'm getting that done.
Who are you playing?
he's playing Max.
That's
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's a pretty good game. That's a pretty good game, Jeff.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
it.
Good game. Both middle of the standings. Max a little more up there.
Mhm.
Doing well. Good for Max, man. He's
A
having
big that's a big game. Whoever wins that game has a chance for the playoffs, and whoever doesn't is pretty
Good
much out.
chance.
It's kind of
Yeah.
it's almost a quasi elimination game right there. So that is a big game.
Wow.
Except Jeff doesn't have a tight end or a defense, so that'll be tough.
Waiver wires up.
All right, Houston. I'll go next year, buddy, with my lock of
Yeah.
the week. As you boys know, I'm 6-1. I'm hot, so I'm feeling myself. I'm gonna take another risk here. Last week I took Jeff over Josh, very against the grain. We had just put Josh at number 1 in our rankings. I'm gonna take what I think is probably the matchup of the week this week. We got 2 6-2 teams, Kevin versus Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Big time matchup.
Big game.
Big time matchup this week of, I don't know, second and third place or something like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but two playoff teams, top tier teams. Give me Eric Kanicki over Kevin.
Ooh.
Lock it in. Eric's gonna get the dub. And really, it's because I just don't believe in Kevin's team. I've been talking about it the last couple weeks, and I think Kevin's team has been overperforming for his record is not representative of how good his team is.
Yeah.
And I've been doing a lot of this kind of just course correcting ones last time. Like last week I picked Jeff because he was just getting the short end of the stick, and I felt like it was gonna come his way. And kind of in an opposite fashion of that, I'm gonna go with Kevin.
Yeah.
Losing some of the luck he's had the last couple of weeks, and give me Eric over Kevin this week.
So Dan, I picked Kevin, who got me one last week over
Yeah.
Murph. That was more because Murph's team, as he told us in his
Bad.
video, sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm like, can I like double up on Kevin here? See, and then I saw, okay, Kevin, I was looking at the matchup as you picked Eric, and I'm like, dude, this just screams Eric. Like Kevin's got Herbert over the Jets. Pollard sucked a big wiener. He's playing the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
James Cook is a running. Does Buffalo even run the fucking ball? I mean, Higgins, like he only passes to Chase. Kincaid, they have Knox. I guess he might be hurt, but like, I mean, no, I like Eric too. I'm gonna double up with you, Dan. I'm with you, Eric. We're gonna go Eric.
Wow.
Yeah.
That might be the first time we had the same lock there, Hughes.
Not always a debate show, right, guys? You know,
That's
sometimes we're in agreement.
It's a real FTC type of lock of the week here today, boys.
Real FTC type. FTC.
I have a feeling that everybody on here is we're gonna go 0-3 because mostly without Stafford playing, Eric's got 3 Rams, and I'm a little nervous about that.
Stafford not playing.
He's
Stafford's
doubtful
not
right now.
playing.
He's
Yeah,
got a
he's
UCL tear or strain, so he's with his thumb or
His
something.
thumb, right?
He's
But I don't think he got it from
questionable.
playing. Did he get pissed and punch something?
I think he came out in the game, but we'll just see. I mean, it's either going to be a big game or Eric's going to fall super flat on his face. But we'll
Wow,
see. We'll
that
see if
is-
Stafford plays or not. Is the big
That
thing.
is a factor. That is a big factor. We already said it, Houston, so we got to stick with it. But that is a
Yeah,
big
I
factor.
feel like we got to
Good
stick with it.
call out there, Josh.
Bad on us for bad due diligence.
Yeah, yeah.
Next topic. Lions. Jeff, you're
Yeah.
Lions. You're always chat. Sunday, Jeff is he's starting. He's like, boys, we need this fucking drive. You're there. Rest of the season, Lions. We got a bye week this week, and we come back. Schedule's not bad. What do you think's happening? Did the Lions miss out on any trades? I mean, we got Donovan People-Jones.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, no action really. What do you think is happening with the Lions rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, look, man, NFC North, where we should be coming out of that, no problem. Who do we have? That's a real team coming up. The Chargers after the bye week. We've got Dallas in 17, and that's it. I mean, other than that, we're playing Denver, and the rest are NFC teams. So realistically, we should maybe lose 2 of those games, 3 due to injury, and then cruise our way into the fucking NFC Championship, boys. I mean, this is our year, right? Houston, you're on the Kool-Aid?
So I'm on the Kool-Aid. I mean, we're gonna make the playoffs. There's no doubt. You gotta go. You go 500 right now, and you'll go make the playoffs the rest of the season. So you probably win the division 500, right? Like, so we're gonna be fighting for a number 1 seed. I'm honestly starting to focus on rooting for Philly to lose. I think they got a tough schedule, right? Like, I'm unfortunately rooting for Dallas to beat them this weekend. No, man, I don't think we're gonna end up at like, what do people think? We're going 13-4 type of thing. We're gonna be 12 and something. maybe even 11, but like 11-6 is really good.
Well, here's outside this, buddy. I think 13-4 is totally reachable. They went 6-2. If you go 6-2 again in the second half of the season with an easier schedule, that puts you at 12-4, and then the one game win. So I think the number one, like you said, number one in the division is totally in the conference is totally within reach. I was a little disappointed. I'm curious about your guys' thoughts on this. The trade deadline move, or maybe lack thereof, that we made, right? We got Donovan Peoples-Jones, who I think is a nice little add for our wide receiver room for sure. But I don't think anyone on this podcast or in this league thought that was where we needed to add, right? I think the defensive line, especially in the interior, in my opinion, but I also would have been happy with the defensive end, could have used a little bit more beef in there.
Don't get like a Chris Jones, Kansas City, who had some people who are on the out and out, maybe a good vet, something
Yeah,
like that.
I mean, the Giants traded Leonard Williams, who's a great D tackle.
Yeah.
Chase Young went somewhere. I can't remember
Yeah.
where.
San Francisco.
How great would have
Francisco.
Chase Young been?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for a third round pick, I
Yeah.
think it was too, right? Like I'd be happy to pay a
Yeah.
third round pick for Chase Young.
Yeah.
And then even
Montez Sweat
went to the Bears. It was like, what the fuck? But I don't know. The price tags on those trades weren't that high, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, I would have loved to see the Lions swoop in there and grab one of those guys for a second and a 6 or something like that, or a third and a 6, or even a second, and swooped up. I know. The one thing I will say is all those contracts are expiring for every single one of those players we just mentioned, right? So you're gonna have to pay up for them if you want to keep them, which is a factor.
Well,
But what do you guys think?
the biggest factor there is none of them are culture fits. I mean, you talk about the Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell drafting and prospecting. They're big into culture, and like Sweat, Young, those are all dudes who are known for like not playing team ball, trying to be flashy. So they just don't fit in. They don't mesh well with the team they're trying to build there. So I just don't think there was anyone good in the defensive area that they thought it was worth it. DPJ maybe because he's a Michigan grad, but
But he does, to me, right? Like Reynolds and Raymond both do anything that he does. So
sure. Depth. I don't know, man. Well, they keep dropping like flies. So
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, I'm really close to being completely out on JMO, man. Another drop last week. I'm just getting frustrated with this guy. So I don't hate the Jonathan Peoples-Jones move. Jeff, you said something there I want to kind of hit on a little bit, right? You said we're looking for a culture fit, and I heard Valenti talking about this on the radio. I don't want to be a Valenti disciple. I'm not one, but he made an interesting point about since when does the culture fit? When is your culture enough and that guys can fit? You can make guys fit into your culture, right? I mean, like to me, it almost seems like that's an excuse. That's a cop out move. Just say, oh, we don't have a culture fit. Like I don't know much about Montez Sweat or Chase Young, but like, are they that bad of guys? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Sometimes I think that might be a little bit of a
example of that, Dan, would be Randy Moss going to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Now it's culture fit into the Patriot way, but it worked out. Are we established enough as like a culture and a program to like demand a guy do that? I don't know. But short season, you get short windows. So
yeah, and I'll say this. The Lions window is more than just this year, right? They don't need to go all out for the Super Bowl this year because they have, in my opinion, a few years of runway ahead of them to continue. They got a lot of young talent that they don't got to pay for a couple of years. The cap situation's all right. So they don't need to go all out this year to do it. But I do think they had the room to go for it this year a little bit harder than what they did. So I was a little disappointed at the trade deadline for sure. But I can respect not wanting to pay a dude that you don't really believe in. And if they didn't believe him, then so be it. So we'll see what happens with it. I mean, they're still going to finish strong, they still have a great team,
Yeah.
It's not like they're not going to make the playoffs because they didn't pick up a defensive tackle or some shit. So
yeah. So last topic, lighthearted one.
Oh
yeah. We kind of reverted back to this COVID year, right? And so I don't even think, did we do a draft in person this year?
Oh yeah, we did destination draft this year, Hughes.
Oh yeah.
Up north, yeah.
We're supposed to be there.
Fuck me. Thanks, Jeff. All right. Yeah, it was Anthony's the year before. But no, beat ups trips. Used to be a regular thing. Last year, a lot of guys going to Thursday, a couple Sunday beat ups trips. Dan doesn't want to make the trip back from up north. We're trying to get him to come down, but there's a lot of us still in the area. B-dubs is close. They're everywhere. Guys, what's your favorite B-dubs flavor?
Ooh,
I'm a parm garlic man.
Parm garlic.
yeah, parm garlic, or I hate to be the Asian guy, but Asian zing.
No spice, no spice. I'm either the spicy barbecue, which they brought back, which is fire, or they came out with like a year or two ago, a Nashville chicken hot.
Oh yeah, that
Flavor?
was a good one.
Oh, those are good. Those are my flavors. Anyways,
Yeah.
we need to beat up this on one of these Thursdays or a Sunday night, Monday night even. Monday
Mhm.
night could be good. So guys, like reach out. Let's get one going. And yeah, Jeff, you want to send us off?
F.
T.
See you later, boys. Thanks for joining us this week. We'll see you next.
We can all agree